Nagpaka-martyr ako dati.
Ay!
Ganon.
Ay!
Yung parang, okay, sige, kaya kong,
Paano?
kaya kong tiisin to, yung ganon. Yung, okay, nandito pa rin ako. Parang iniintay ko siyang piliin niya ako.
Does it add more pressure to you and people your age?
If I'm being completely honest.
So, nagsisinungaling ka kanina pa? Hindi naman hinihingi ko, maging honest ka. So,
Hindi.
pala
Basta ako, hindi ako nagsisinungaling, Kuya Luis.
Ay, nagpaparinig siya.
Ay.
Paparinig siya. Okay. Hey vlog! Welcome to my guys! Eto na naman tayo, Luis Listens tayo, kung saan makikipag-usap tayo, tawanan, at lahat-lahat. At anong ngayon lakas makatito vibes ng guest ko. Ramdam ko yung edad ko. Dahil ang guest natin, kumbaga, ang kasamahan ko sa timeline ay ang kanyang mga magulang. But she is, a way to describe her is one of a kind. Isang napakabait, very talented, beautiful, lahat-lahat na Jayda on Luis Listens.
Hello.
Hi Jayda, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
At sinasabi ko nga na napakalakas makatito vibes. Nag-uusap kami bago magsimula yung show.
Uy, kuya naman yung tawag ko sa'yo.
Okay, thank you very much. Gumaang pakiramdam ko dahil sa'yo.
Naramdaman ko din yun. Sige. Hindi, abutan na lang kita ng pera.
Ay, aabutan daw ako ng pera. First guest ever.
Yes.
First guest ever na aabutan ako ng pera. Gusto ko lang i-share to.
Kasi ang ganda ng intro mo sa akin kaya.
Alam mo naman, gusto ko lang i-share to. I've said this before. Dahil ang palagi ko nakaka-collab si Miss Kathy Gonzaga. Si Alex, one of the most followed.
Grabe yung friendship niya.
Oo. Alam mo ba lahat ng naka-collab niya namatay sa gutom? Kasi, okay ka lang. Ang lalim, medyo malalim yung lungs mo.
Hindi. Yeah, syempre.
Wala pa
as
siyang,
a singerist, diba?
Wala pa siyang nababayaran sa lahat ng naka-collab niya. Lahat ng naka-collab niya namatay sa gutom. Pero si Jayda, gusto ko lang sabihin, is one of the kindest people I've ever met sa industriya. Hindi siya nawawala sa bawat bati sa akin at lahat. And that's why I think and I know that you're someone very, very special.
Oh, thank you.
Kaya naman, una kagad, ang gagawin natin, mabilisan to, one word lang ang hihingiin kong sagot.
Okay.
I-describe.
It's giving fast talk.
Oh, very fast talk.
Very fast talk. Tito Luis.
Tito
Luis ka for today's
Umalis ka na, Jay.
Okay, I'll see myself.
Wala akong papalabas. Wala na akong papalabas.
Wala ka ng content.
Okay, one word. Describe mo to, ha? Love life.
Pwede bang may hyphen?
Okay.
Non-existent.
Ano hyphen?
Hyphen.
Hyphen? Ano yun? Hyphen?
Yung dash.
Okay. Sorry. Nakitawa lang ako para hindi ako magmukhang tanga. Bakit non-existent? Na-imagine ko, kagaya sinabi ko, you're a beautiful lady, talented. You have a very beautiful heart. So, imposible naman na walang namang nagpaparamdam sa'yo kahit multo man lang.
Hindi, siguro non-existent by choice din. Kasi I would definitely say, hindi ito sa pagiging showbiz talaga yung sagot. Parang, after sa mga napagdaanan ko din, parang na-realize ko yung talagang priorities ko talaga sa buhay. Tsaka, I realize kasi when it comes to relationships, it takes two people. And I feel like at this current age, parang a lot of people aren't really in the mindset to be in a proper relationship. Ay, hindi naman sa nilalahat ko lahat. Pero dahil dun, parang I'd rather focus on the things that I have a little more control over. And yung mga mas importante sa akin ngayon, which is yung pangarap ko.
Okay. Sunod, career naman.
Career, exciting.
Okay, why?
I would say exciting because it's just a really exciting chapter in my life right now that I've really made the conscious decision to really prioritize my music. It's not that I'm giving up on acting altogether, but I just realized and I had to kind of have that moment to sit down with myself. Parang pinag-isipan ko talaga at this age. Like, I just turned 21. As a young adult, ano ba talaga yung gusto kong gawin sa buhay ko and kung ano ba talaga yung first love ko at yun talaga yung music. So I would say it's really exciting. I'm really excited for the music that I've put out so far and the music that I'm gonna be continuing to
Yung tatanungin ko, no? Even if na you had, your celebrity parents, parang hindi ka dumaan dun sa child star route or whatever. Diba? Yeah. Parang hindi. Bakit?
Actually not. Siguro kasi, sa totoo lang, Kuya Luis, parang nung nagsisimula ako, well, ever since I was a kid, there was always that love for entertainment. Siguro kasi, like you, I mean, we have that in common. We both grew up. Tayo yung parang tinatawag, di ba, na Nepo baby.
Yes,
Nepo
Nepo
baby.
baby.
Sobrang nauuso na yung term na yun. Pero siguro kasi nga, nung bata ako, I always grew up around it, but my parents never forced me into it. They never forced me into it. Sa totoo lang nga, nung una, yung mom ko, ayaw niya akong pumasok sa showbiz.
Okay.
Kasi nga, alam niya na kung gaano ka-cruel tsaka harsh din yung, kung gaano ka-cutthroat yung industriyang to. Kaya din...
Lalo na ngayon.
Lalo na ngayon. Yes. Pero siguro from a few years ago, I've been doing this, like I released my first single when I was 14. I was still quite young then, but I think actually it really just started from when I started songwriting. That's when my parents realized na hindi na nila talaga ako mapipigilan in terms of my growth. Kasi parang ito talaga yung hilig ko. Bata pa lang ako, parang mahilig na talaga ako kumanta, mag-perform. Sobrang extroverted ko.
Did you have a talk with them na parang like on this day, mom, dad, gusto ko talagang subukan etong industriyang to? Or kumbaga it was a slow process na you were writing, tapos ipapasa mo, tapos nire-record mo online, you uploaded, or parang you had this talk na let's do it?
Medyo ganun. Siguro hindi lang siya sobrang formal na usapan.
No.
Siguro parang naging gradual din. Kasi nung una, actually, fun fact, nung mga 9 years old pa lang ako, si Mr. M was actually wanting me to join Star Magic as an actress.
So child star talaga?
Nung una. Tapos ako nun, ayoko. Kasi mas gusto ko talaga makilala ako bilang singer. And at the time, syempre, nag-aaral ako nun. And my parents thought like, well, she can always enter later on. Even at one point, my dad said si Boss Vic ng Viva as well. Because I think I remember my dad released an album under Viva, was it? Something like that. And then I was a feature on the album. And at that early age, like, these people would say like, maybe she should get into it. And at first, like, yun nga, gaya nga ng sinabi ko, parang hindi talaga muna siya naging seryosong usapan. Na-realize ko din na gradually as time passed na hindi lang siya phase, kumbaga.
Yeah.
Parang this was really something that I could see myself doing. Actually, I think the turning point for me, that I knew that this is what I want to do with my life, was when I was 9 years old. Instead of a birthday party, I asked my parents for a birthday concert. Like a full band, live band
serious?
thing. And
9 years old.
It actually happened, yes.
Sabi mo nga, nung una, your mom and maybe your dad, parang they were iffy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Pero ito, talagang they're letting you feel how it is to be a performer.
Oh yes,
Galing.
100%.
At saka yung dati, si Mr. M pa lang, gusto ko na kunin talaga.
Yeah, like at that point, nagme-meeting na kami nun with Mr. M.
Siguro yung personality, sa industriyang to, your personality goes a long way.
Oh yes.
Ako
You're living proof of that.
For 20 plus years,
yes,
wala akong talent na napakita. Personality lang pinapakita ko. Yun lang ang
I would
abag
say
ko.
hosting is a talent.
Thank you, but it's more of yung personality lang. Okay, next word.
Yes.
Family. One word to describe your family.
Unconditional. I would say unconditional.
Di kayo nagko-conditioner sa bahay?
It's giving Tito joke.
It's a super lolo joke. Oo. Unconditional.
Tito Luis ka dyan.
Bakit? Ba't unconditional?
Unconditional, I would say, siguro kasi we've been through a lot together. But the thing with my family and I is like we're super solid in that sense. I mean,
That's how it should be, no?
Yeah, as it should be. And I think like I really appreciate my parents that no matter what I've been through, like throughout, you know, my time, like, I guess in the industry, or kahit gaano pa daming mga sacrifices they've had to make, or they've had to make rather. They've always been there, and they've always done it so willingly, and I've always thought that to be such a blessing, that I have such supportive parents.
Tama.
With what I want to do with my
sunod na word. I mean, sunod na one word to describe your friendships.
Sa ngayon, I would say solid. Solid. My friendships right now in my life are pretty solid.
Since medyo late ka pumasok sa industriya, you had a life, or have a life, outside of showbiz. Do you think friendships outside of showbiz are different sa showbiz? Kasi ako, same thing. Ang barkada ko ngayon, high school, grade school barkada ko.
That's nice.
And it's different. Ibang-iba. And I think it's a way to keep you grounded. Because they late ako pumasok ng showbiz. I was in my early 20s nung pumasok ako. They knew and still know the Luis Manzano outside of showbiz. Ikaw, ganun di ba yung mga kaibigan mo na before you became Jayda, the celebrity?
There is a distinction between the people who aren't in show business in that sense with my friendships. Like, ako personally, there was a time in my life where I migrated to the US at an early age, from the age of 3. And then, you know, there's still people that, I mean, I met even in my younger, like, teenage years that I still keep in contact with to this day. And it's just so nice because they do know sort of a different version of me, and it's nice to keep in touch with those people because you have a different set of memories. Lalo na kasi parang they were there in a certain chapter of your life before, you know, you move on to bigger things. But it's nice when you still get to keep those people even in the next chapters of your life.
For
and
example,
they're
your
still very supportive.
friends sa States, pag nakikita nila ngayon yung nararating mo, I mean, for example, nakita lang nila, for example, your social media following, or nakikita nila you're performing on TV, ano mga sinasabi nila?
Nagte-text sila sa akin. Actually, sobrang nakaka-touch din pag sinasabi nila, like, sobrang nakaka-proud ka. Meron nga akong mga, kasi growing up as an only child, I would be friends with a lot of, like, I guess, like, older people in the sense, like, mga adults din yung mga nakakasundo ko. And then sometimes when I see them again after all this time, like when I go back to the States, like every couple of months or every now and then, they tell me that, grabe, naalala pa kita na naka-diaper ka, tapos ngayon na, parang ito na yung ginagawa mo.
Well, tandaan mo, circle of life yun. Nagsimula ka sa diaper. Pag tandaan mo, diaper din ang ending mo. Totoo yan, di ba? It's a circle of life.
Right, yeah. But it's just, I see how it makes them super sentimental. I guess when they see me and what I'm doing now, even when it comes to family, because like my majority of my mom's family, they're in San Diego. That's where they live. Like my granny and my papi, especially my granny. Like, shout out to her. She's very.
Hi, Granny. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
What's up, Granny?
Yeah, she actually watches your content.
Thank you po.
Yeah,
Thank you very
she'll
much
definitely watch this vlog.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Every time she like hears me sing and things like that, like it makes her very emotional. So it's kind of that similar thing with all of these people that were there when I feel like I still in a way am starting, because I feel like in a lot of ways with what I'm doing right now, it's kind of a fresh start for me. Like, I like to look at it from that perspective, because this is like a beginning of a new chapter in my life in a lot of ways, not just as an artist, but as a person. Bilang nga, young adult na din ako.
But that's good, to have that mindset, na even if it's pretty obvious you're very talented, lahat. Pero kumbaga, you're always thinking na it's a fresh start, na it's something new. Because para sa akin, it shows humility. It shows na you still want to grow. You still want to learn.
It's all about growth.
Hindi ka complacent sa binigay na sa'yo ng Diyos, di ba? So it shows na your feet are still on the ground.
Yeah, of course. And I think one of the things that my dad has taught me is to always have a teachable spirit, I would say.
Ganda naman nun.
Teachable spirit, parang the minute that you decide to yourself that you've stopped learning, that's like the end of your career. So
very, very valuable advice in life and in the industry. Yeah,
in general. And I feel like you just can't go wrong with it. And I just feel like over this past year, I feel like I've grown so much as not only as an artist, but as a person as well, as an individual. I've learned so much when it comes to relationships and friendships.
But sinabi mo yung relationships. You threw it out there na parang, as an artist,
relationships. The way I muttered that to myself. But yes, like, it's really amazing once you kind of see the silver lining in all of that, even if it's good or even if it's bad or bad at that time. Sometimes when you've had enough time away from those situations, like when you're older, like you start to see the value and why things had to happen in a certain way.
Okay. Tuloy naman tayo.
Sige.
Hindi na tayo one word.
Okay.
Besides your parents, dream performance mo or duet? Sino? Local muna.
Local muna. Someone I'd like to work with, Pablo of SB19. I've always said that. I've wanted.
Wow.
I've always admired him, mainly as a songwriter as well, like as a lyricist. Grabe, what a brilliant mind. I'd definitely say him. I guess in terms of OPM icons as well, I would say si Yang Constantino, si Ate Yang Constantino.
Isa pa yun, napakagaling na
a
musiko
songwriter.
siya.
Siguro kasi I'm a big fan of singer-songwriters, and she's given me also some valuable advice as a songwriter that at the beginning of my career, like stuff I'll never forget of how to write hooks and choruses and things like that, and just the really technical stuff.
Ano yung process mo as a songwriter? Are you one of those songwriters na pag umupo ka, iisip ka. Or you're one of those things na you see something random, tapos nakakagawa ka ng lyrics?
Siguro kasi, Kuya Luis, I really start with a concept. I've always considered myself to be a concept-based songwriter. So when it comes to songwriting, it really starts with the question I ask for myself. Kung sino man nanonood dito na gustong makapagsulat ng kanta, the piece of, I guess, advice that I give as a young songwriter as well is to always figure out what it is you want to say, or kung ano man yung gusto mo sabihin sa isang kanta. Kasi once you identify that, usually the rest starts to follow. Personally for me anyway, it's always worked for me. It's a method that never goes wrong. Ito yung philosophy ko as a songwriter. There's not a concept that's 100% original. Because we all write about universal themes like love, heartbreak, family, self-empowerment. Sa dami ng tao sa mundo, and how many years music has been around. Pero yung pagkakaiba ng bawat songwriter is kung paano namin sinasabi. Natatae ako. Ganyan.
Parang ganyan. Sabi na, alam yung tono na yun. Banal na aso.
Santong kabayo.
Sige. So that's your process. So kung sa bukod kay Yeng at lahat-lahat, do you have a dream as a singer? Parang ano ba? Philippine Arena, or do you want? I mean, anong dream mo?
I mean, I'm the type to dream big. I would love to sell out big venues in the U.S. Like, I mean, if I'm really, you know, dreaming big, it would be something like Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
Or stuff like that. But I guess
New York, matinding bagsakan nun.
But
biggest names.
Right. Yeah. But here in the Philippines, I mean, Philippine Arena right now is like it's a really good big venue that I love to play. But I don't mind, and I guess not that it's really small, but I like the idea of a slow rise and gradually getting there, that I don't have to go to the big venues immediately.
And I guess every gig is a gig. Diba?
Yes, I treat it the same way.
As long as you get to sing, as long as you get to pour your heart out, na sinusuportahan ka ng mamahal mo, it's as special as the biggest one na you can achieve.
Exactly. And ako, personally, yung work ethic ko pagdating sa mga performances, no matter how the crowd may react, although you do read the room, I'm sure you apply the same way to hosting, but you kind of give them the same level of preparation. You give the same level of preparation and discipline to a crowd of 50 people and to a crowd of 10,000 people.
Tama ka dyan, di ba? Lalong-lalo na pagbayad.
Yes.
Totoo yan. Lalong-lalo na pagbayad. Because totoo yan. Because for example, small example, tinuro ng mommy ko before, when I did my first movie.
Yes.
Sabi niya, anak, don't forget, TV is free. Pag sa pelikula, binabayaran ka. So it's the same thing.
That makes sense.
Na,
I agree.
if someone pays for your talent fee, it doesn't matter if you're performing in a small venue or the biggest of venue, you give 110%.
I agree.
Dahil kumbaga, ano yan eh, kumbaga people got your services. So huwag ka marerelax na porket maliit yung venue, petiks-petiks ka lang, di ba? Always, any venue, any audience, sabi mo nga 50 or 50,000, you give 110%.
Saka naniniwala ako, Kuya Luis, na we're here, the reason why we're here is we're here to entertain. We're here to be people's breaks from, you know, their regular routines or their lifestyle. And what I really appreciate about what we do is seeing the impact that we have on people when we do, you know.
Kailan mo pinaka naramdaman yan? Kasi favorite kong tanongin yan sa ibang mga guests ko, na the first time na someone asked for their autograph, the first time someone took their picture, the first time they felt the tightest hug from a fan, kailan mo naramdaman na you're having an impact sa buhay ng ibang tao?
Siguro, I would say in the past couple of shows that I've done. Well, yesterday, personally, like I did a show for Wish sa Araneta Coliseum, which was a good show. It was a really good crowd, and I think that moment of fan interaction that I had with it, this is the first thing that comes to mind. Fan interaction with my fans after the show. Like a bunch of them that had gathered to watch the show, and they had, I mean, I saw it from the stage, but they had all of their LED lights and things like that.
Dati, panahon namin, banner lang eh, di ba? Tapos ngayon, LED na, no?
Tapos after nung show, shoutout sa mga Jayda Nation, mga sad besties ko. Tawag ko sa kanila, sad besties.
Bakit sad besties?
Kasi, so, ang tawag ng iba sa akin, pambansang sad girl. Kasi nga, puro malulungkot mga kanta ko. Yung mga tawag ko sa mga fans ko, sad besties. Kasi lahat kami, parang damay-damay sa pagiging sad. So, ayun, sila, they gave me this like, little like gift basket of like a bunch of my favorite things that they just researched on. Lahat ng mga chips na gusto ko, tas ano, pansit canton, all of this, yes.
Ang sweet naman nun.
Yeah. Sobrang sweet nun. Ako personally, yung mga ganun na regalo, it really warms my heart because so much, I just know that nag-ambagan sila para dun, and that alone, like, the effort to put that together for me, you know, no matter how big or small the gift is, I just know that they made the effort and they put the thought into it to put all of my favorite things in that box. And that just made me really happy. So just knowing that I have that kind of support system, and ako naman, like, I'm really proud with my fans, like, as they're, you know, they're gradually growing. They've always, you know, had such an amazing, like, attitude, tsaka yung pakikitungo nila sa ibang tao, and they've always been super welcoming with new members of the community.
It goes to show na talagang there are lives na you touch, di ba? Di, mag-hi din ako sa fans ko sa...
Ano names ng fans mo?
Karding, isa lang siya. Hindi ko nga alam.
Fanbase.
Si Karding, mahina pa yung internet niya. Hindi pa siya nakakapanood ng isang buong episode ng Luisters. Hindi, sa Luisters. Ang tawag, Luisters at si Osbea Alonso, who guested. Siya ang sabi niya, Luisteners.
Luisteners.
Kita
Solid
mo,
yun.
may Luisteners tayo.
Luisteners, gusto ko yun.
Babalik tayo sa sa topic na same boat tayo, mga Nepo baby.
Nepo babies,
Okay.
represent.
I see it online,
Yeah.
but some people take it as something negative.
Yes, they do.
Nakikita ko yan.
They,
Diba? But
yeah.
how do you see it? Ako, let's unahan na kita dyan.
Sige, go ahead.
It's not as if we chose to be born sa pamilya na yan.
Exactly.
It's not as if bigla na lang, ay, si Vilma at si Edu, dyan ako papasok. Hindi siya ganun eh. You can't choose family.
Yeah, you don't choose
Oh.
family. And another thing is, like, what I notice about, I'm not saying all people think that way, but some people, they always use it as an opportunity to try and discredit us.
Tama.
But I totally agree that, you know, you can't choose family. You don't choose your parents. And ako personally, for me, I see it as a blessing that I was born into this family, because I was born into a family who support me in what I do, and they really understand what the industry that I've found myself in. We all speak the same language, and I'm sure it's the same way with you. I am curious though, Kuya Luis, how is it for you when, di ba, parang channel ko, ako yung nagtanong
Yeah,
sa'yo.
go na,
Di,
okay
pero
yan, okay yan.
Curious ako na, when you entered show business, what was that like for your parents?
Same thing. Same thing para sa'yo, na they never influenced me. Same thing ngayon sa politics. Like, for example, even when my mom was in politics, si Tito Ralph was in politics, they never told me to run. That's why I'm not in public service. Same kay daddy, kay mommy, never nila sinabi. Hanggang sa one day, parang I started sa mix.
Right.
Doon nagsimula lang yan. Tapos hanggang sa nakita ko, ay okay, pwede pala ako bayaran dito. So that's where it started. And siguro kagaya na sinabi nga ng mommy ko before, na anak, para sa atin, it's easier to get in showbiz. Easier.
Yes.
Kumbaga, we have one foot na eh. Diba?
One foot in the
Oo.
door. Yeah.
Pero babalik at babalik pa rin yan sa how hard you'll work and how bad you want it.
I agree. Yeah.
Diba? Parang sabi nga nila, madali maging flash in the pan. Dati pa lang, madaling sumikat. Much more ngayon, there's social media. Pero mahirap magtagal.
Lalo na ngayon, I would say yung turnover ngayon, Kuya Luis, it's really different. Like,
Yung
whoever's
1,000
popular now might not even be who's popular the next month. Like, it's that quick
That's
now.
too much nga eh. Pwedeng
Yeah.
next week.
Honestly,
Diba? Oo.
I agree. Kaya nga,
Does it add more pressure for you na kailangan constant yun nandyan? Kasi sabi mo nga na, pasikat ka pa lang, someone already posted a trending video na pasikat na, ganyan-ganyan. Tapos meron ng kasi. Does it add more pressure to you and people your age?
yes, I agree. I would have to say that if I'm being completely honest,
Pero sinungaling ka kanina pa? Hindi naman hinihingi ko, maging honest ka. So,
hindi,
sinungaling pala itong bisita natin.
basta ako hindi ako nagsisinungaling, Kuya Luis.
Ay, nagpaparinig siya.
Ay.
Paparinig siya, okay.
Pero I would definitely say that there is that added pressure because, yun nga, parang there's also like that pressure, I guess, from the artist end to shell out different types of content. And ako personally, that's also been my struggle, I guess, in terms of, you know, as a musician, because now, with my priority being my music, a lot of the time, although I'm super grateful for Republic Records, my label right now, I'm really happy with them, but I acknowledge now that gone are the days where, you know, the label does all the legwork. A lot of the times, a lot of the work is done by the artist. If you notice the trends, if you really read into it, a lot of the times you can credit the artist a lot for their success because they work hard to make content that connects with people. And, you know, right now we also think about it in terms of even kahit in the prospect of sa mga brands, you have to know your own brand now. You have to know how to market yourself. It's part of the job. And then all while doing that, you have to be creative. So there is that pressure. But I think what's exciting though is, I guess personally for me, there's a lot of freedom, I guess in that sense, in terms of how I'd like to present myself as an artist. And I think that's the great part, because especially if you're someone like me who I do know who I am and how I'd like to present myself and what kind of artist I'd like to become and how I want to impact people. It's just the process that's difficult. But I always think about and remember my core and why do I do what I do, which is to connect with people. So.
Then isip ko rin sa akin kasi kahit pa paano, medyo may tanda na ako. It's even harder now. Ang dami talagang social media na kailangan mong magparamdam.
Yeah.
Sabi ko nga, di ba, there are different beasts per social media. Like for example, pwede kang sobrang sikat sa TikTok, but hindi masyado sa mainstream.
Yes.
Pwede kang sobrang sikat sa YouTube, pero hindi masyado. Pwede kang superstar sa mainstream, pero wala kang kahit anong wala masyadong following sa TikTok or ganyan. So, di ba, na parang kahit pa paano, you have to cater to all these social media channels, hindi ba?
It's a lot to handle, to be honest. And I felt it, I think, all the more now than I guess before, because it's really competitive, because you're competing, I guess, in the sense like there's just so many content. It's not even just specific people. It's more so just the influx of different content, because now like a video can go viral. It doesn't have to be the person, but a video can go viral and that can circulate around, and then you're kind of competing with the algorithm and things like that. All of those.
Diba? May
yung
mga
ganon
na.
Kasi dati, like when I have conversations about this with my dad, there's TV once. Matugtog ka sa radyo, okay ka na,
tulog ka na.
Now it's not that way. And even now, like I feel like gaya nga ng sinabi natin when it comes to the turnover, even if let's say you have a big song right now, it doesn't guarantee the next one will be the same.
Tama. Babalik ako pa rin, same boat pa rin tayo ng Nepo Baby.
Yes.
So kamusta muna ang relationship mo with your mom and dad? Kasi sabi mo nga, you're the only child.
Yes.
So kumbaga, kahit pa paano, naiisip ko si Peanut.
Now,
when she's older, ikaw ba, kamusta kayo when you were growing up? Were you a daddy's girl or were you a mommy's girl?
Ako personally,
ano style nila? Kung sinong tiga-disiplina? Sino yung devil's advocate?
Devil's advocate. I would say, growing up, aminado naman ako, daddy's girl ako growing up. I think. I would, bigay ko na sa daddy ko.
Okay. And I think you'll forever be.
In a way, yeah. I think there's always gonna be that part, because and I kind of see that when I see your content with your little girl. It's super cute. But yung kalaro ko when I was growing up, yung mga Barbies and stuff like that, it was my dad. Super cute.
Okay.
Yeah, like my dad, I think he was one of the people that encouraged so much creativity within me, and I think that's why, one of the reasons why I became a creative, because I attribute that to him, I would say. Kasi I remember this one time, hindi ko siya makakalimutan, yung ginising niya ako, sabi niya, "Nak, may surprise ako." Siguro mga 8 years old ako or something, or maybe even younger probably. And then I walked into like my playroom, and then he like arranged my dolls in a certain way. Cause like one of the things my dad and I like to play when we would play with my dolls is we would create stories for them. We would have them act and things like that. And there would be like scenes between the dolls. And he would arrange it in a certain way that there was a story. So I think at that early age, like that was one of the things that, one of the reasons why I probably flourished and eventually became a creative is because, yun nga, parang at an early age, like someone like that, my own dad was the one who really kind of encouraged that for me to dream big, even when it came to the stories of stuff like that.
So eto yung yung I'll watch out for this. Paano yung unang lapit mo to your dad, kay Sir Ding Dong, matters of the heart?
Oh.
Yung kumbaga, the first time na may umaakit na ng ligaw sa'yo, o hindi kaya napapansin ni Sir Ding Dong na parang madalas kausap ni Jayda yung taong yun Was he like, no boyfriend, ganun ka, or?
You know what, surprisingly, like between my two parents, although I must say, both my parents are pretty cool. Like my mom, she's like a sister to me, really. Like ganun yung relationship namin. But my dad is like really cool when it comes to matters of the heart.
Seryoso?
He's never been the kind of
There was no
dad.
hostility sa una. I think it's...
I feel like even with the guys who have, you know, like, maka-guys, parang ang dami, hindi naman, guys, hindi naman madami yung guys sa buhay ko. But like throughout like my young adult life, I guess like with my dad, he's always been very friendly, always giving them the benefit of the doubt kind of guy. Maybe because he knows what it's like to be in their position. That's my theory. That's what I think. But to be honest, at the early stages of when I would start to have those little, I guess, relationships or yung siguro mga MUM, yung mga ganon, hindi ko talaga sinasabi sa kanya ng diretso, pero parang may unspoken rule na parang alam niya na, pero hindi namin masyadong pinapag-usapan. And in fairness naman to him, he never would pry.
Best advice na binigay nila, both from Sir Ding Dong and Miss Jessa, pagdating sa matters of the heart?
Yung mom ko, lagi. And sobrang simple, pero simple but effective. Magpakatalino ka.
Magpakatalino ka. So it's a safe assumption na maybe nawawala ang pag-isip mo pagdating sa pag-ibig ba? Ng konti lang, nawawala sa sarili.
Aminado
sa tamang wisyo, nawawala sa tamang wisyo.
In fairness naman sa akin, whenever I would have problems with my love life or anything like that, never naapektuhan yung trabaho ko. Proud ako dun. Proud akong sabihin yun.
Good job.
Yeah, kasi siguro dahil very solid naman ako dun sa pangarap ko na kahit pa meron akong mga ibang problema, kaya kong parang mag-compartmentalize na parang, okay, itabi muna natin yan, focus tayo dito. Proud naman ako dun. And I have to give it to my parents siguro din dahil sa tinuro din nila sa akin. Kaya naging capable din ako to be able to do something like that.
You don't lose focus.
Yeah.
Sir Ding Dong naman, ano binigyan niyang payo sa pag-ibig?
Choose wisely. Choose the right guy.
Konti na lang, alak. Drink wisely. And parang butante. Totoo naman, di ba?
Totoo naman. Pero siguro, ano ba yung tamang word? Discerning. There, that's the word. Be discerning when you choose the people that you...
Hindi ko lang discerning. Ano yung discerning?
Discerning, yung...
Babagsak ka ng mga English, di ako rin.
Yung maging matalino ka sa pagpili. Parang ganon.
I think that's needed.
Yeah. Pero definitely, kailangan now more than ever, nare-realize ko yun. Siguro kasi ako, my certain pitfall siguro, when it comes to love, may pagka-ano ako.
Yan. Sige.
Diba, isasplok ko na dito. Nagpaka-martyr ako dati.
Ay!
Yung parang, okay, sige, kaya kong tiisin to, yung ganun. Yung
wala naman tayong babanggitin na kung sakasali man. Anong klase? Yung mga nakita mo na may ka-text siyang iba, nakita mo o may narinig ka, pero hindi. Okay lang. Anong klaseng pagka-martyr?
Ako more on pag binibigyan, siguro kasi uso yan sa Gen Z, yung binibigyan ka ng mixed signals. Pero ako naman parang, okay, nandito pa rin ako. Parang iniintay ko siyang piliin niya ako, yung gano'n.
Teka. So mixed signals, meaning, sige.
No.
Malapit na rin tayo matapos. Mixed signal meaning may mga nagpaparamdam sa text. I miss you, sending you like food.
Siguro yung parang, Kuya Luis, very hot and cold na, okay, one day, very sweet, yung ganon, tapos biglang hindi na lang magpaparamdam, tapos babalik, yung ganon. Ako kasi, that's what I've realized na you can't tolerate stuff like that because, well, at the end of the day, hindi pwedeng ganon. So parang siguro lang, dahil siguro nandun ako sa mindset na I'd like to see the good in people, lalo na, more on noon, ganon yung pag-iisip ko. Parang naniniwala ako na people, or they can change for the better, which it's possible naman.
Oo naman.
But they have to want it. Kailangan gustuhin nila. Kasi kung hindi, wala.
Pag dumating yung tamang time, last na lang. Pag dumating yung tamang time, nasabi mo nga, nakafocus ka ngayon sa work mo, nahanda ka ng umibig muli. Let's say lang, na kumbaga, si Jayda ready na magmahal, magka-relationship, lahat-lahat. Ano yung mga qualities na hinahanap mo sa susunod na yun?
Right now, what's really important for me is someone who is sure about themselves.
Okay.
Sure about themselves, I guess, secure, or maybe instead of sure, I'll use the word secure.
Okay.
Secure siya sa sarili niya, sa ambisyon niya sa buhay niya, and things like that. I mean, of course,
nagbabago din naman yan.
That always changes, and I do agree that people change, but I feel like someone with a strong sense of who they are, at least yung core man nila bilang pagkatao.
Tama.
You can't go wrong with that. Because pag solid yung foundation niya bilang tao, magiging solid din yung foundation niyo as a couple.
Tama. Gaan nga natin ng konti. Matangkad, maliit, moreno, tisoy. Yan.
Usually, ang type ko is very soft boy.
Soft boy?
Parang very boy next door.
Okay.
Ganon ang type ko, usually. Pero ako, now, medyo parang mas lumalawak na siya. It's not confined to, kailangan mistiso siya. Parang,
Basta pag tinamaan ka, tatamaan ka.
oo,
Yun naman
naniniwala ako doon. Tsaka,
well, whatever it may be, your career,
Yeah.
your love life, or anything, I wish nothing but the best for you.
Thank
And thank you
you.
for being here on Luis Listens. Dahil
Of
meron pa
course.
siyang Tito Boy. Tito Boy, kita mo, nauna siya sa akin. Mga Fast Talk peeps, nauna sa akin si Jayda. So
Yes.
thank you very much. At sabi
Yes,
ko nga,
thank
I
you.
I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate all the messages na you sent. Na you invite me sa premiere,
Of
you greet
course,
me
yeah.
Father's Day.
Yeah,
You know,
of
those are
course.
small things na nagpapangiti sa puso ko. And for that, thank you very much. And it shows that your parents raised you well.
Oh, thank you, Kuya Luis.
So
it
sana
means a lot.
yung mga characteristics mo ay makuha din ni Peanut.
I'm sure she will. I mean, with a good set of parents and a good father like you, I'm sure she'll grow up to be a very well-raised woman in the future.
Thank you, Jayda.
Thank you
for being
so
here on
much.
Luis
Thank
Listens.
you.
Maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga listeners natin. And goodbye. Thank you, Jayda.
Thank you so much.